Ladies and gentlemen, friends, seekers of truth, listen closely. Life does not whisper in vain. It does not send signals without purpose. Every subtle nudge, every coincidence that catches your breath, every moment that feels like the world is trying to speak to you is a message, a warning, a guide. The universe is not silent. It is calling your attention to something urgent, something transformative, something that cannot be ignored. Too often we move through our days blind to these signals, wrapped in routines, distracted by noise, numb to the whispers of reality. But when these signs arrive, they are impossible to overlook. A sudden loss, a dream that shakes your core, a chance encounter that leaves you questioning everything. These moments are not accidents. They are wake-up calls. They are the universe demanding that you pay attention, that you take responsibility for the life you are living. You may feel fear. You may feel doubt. That is normal. Fear is the universe's way of testing whether your courage is strong enough to face change. Doubt is the friction that polishes your resolve. Do not shrink from them. Do not rationalize them away. Lean into them. Listen carefully to the subtle signs because they are pointing you toward your growth, your destiny, your truth. There is no time like now. There is no second chance guaranteed. Every day you hesitate, every moment you ignore the signs is a day you drift further from your purpose. The universe speaks in signs, but it requires action to answer. It asks of you not merely awareness but transformation. So rise, pay attention, trust what you see and move. Move boldly toward what scares you, toward what challenges you, toward the unknown that promises your greatest evolution. The signs are here. The moment is now. Your life will not wait, and neither should you. Life does not whisper in vain. Every subtle nudge, every fleeting moment that catches your attention, every inexplicable coincidence, these are not mere accidents. They are messages, signals woven into the fabric of your existence, designed to awaken you, to jolt you out of the fog of routine and distraction. When you notice these signs, it is as though the universe itself leans closer, urging you to pay attention. Perhaps it is a chance encounter with someone who challenges the way you think, a sudden obstacle that forces you to pause and reconsider, or a recurring thought or dream that refuses to be ignored. These moments carry meaning, layers of guidance hidden beneath their surface, inviting you to look deeper, to reflect, and to act. They appear precisely when you are on the edge of transformation, when your life is poised at a threshold, and your awareness must expand to meet the next stage of your journey. Ignoring them is not without consequence. Turning away from these signs can leave you wandering in circles, repeating the same mistakes, or feeling a persistent unease you cannot name. Awareness is the first step, but it is not passive. It demands engagement, observation, and trust in the subtle language of life. The signs may be gentle, like a fleeting shadow across your path, or urgent, like a thunderclap that shakes you to your core. Either way, they exist to guide you toward alignment with your deeper purpose, to redirect you toward choices that honor the truth of who you are, and to illuminate the direction your life is quietly but insistently urging you to take. Too often, we move through our days blind to the signals that surround us, wrapped in the comfort of routine and the familiar patterns that create an illusion of safety. We become so engrossed in schedules, responsibilities, and the noise of external expectations that we stop noticing the subtle rhythms of life that are attempting to speak directly to us. A delayed train, a forgotten appointment, a sudden change in the weather, or a seemingly trivial comment from a stranger. All of these can carry meaning if we choose to perceive them. Yet our minds, conditioned to seek logic and control, frequently dismiss these occurrences as coincidence, as irrelevant or inconvenient, when in fact they are invitations to pause, to question, to reflect. The universe is always in motion, always responsive, always sending feedback to those who are willing to pay attention, but we must cultivate the awareness to see it. This requires patience, presence, and a willingness to look beneath the surface of events that at first appear mundane. It demands that we step outside our habitual ways of thinking and feeling, that we allow ourselves to experience the subtle currents of intuition and insight that flow through life. The more we ignore these signals, the more they escalate, manifesting as discomfort, frustration, or challenges that disrupt our sense of stability, until finally, we are forced to confront what we have long avoided. Attuning ourselves to these signs is not a passive act. It is an ongoing practice of mindfulness and sensitivity, a deliberate opening of our hearts and minds to the intelligent patterns that quietly shape our existence. When these signs arrive, they are rarely gentle suggestions. They are wake-up calls, urgent prompts that demand your attention and invite you to act. You may feel fear, uncertainty, or hesitation in their presence. Because the universe often delivers these messages through moments that shake your foundation, challenge your assumptions, or confront you with the unknown. Fear is not a flaw, it is a signal of growth, a natural response to stepping into uncharted territory, and an indicator that you are nearing the edge of transformation. Doubt too is not your enemy, it is the friction of consciousness testing your clarity, revealing where your intentions are unsteady, and showing you where courage must rise to meet uncertainty. These emotional responses are part of the guidance itself, markers that tell you where your focus is needed and where your commitment will be measured. The signs demand more than passive observation. They require reflection, discernment, and the willingness to make decisions that honor your inner truth. To act on them is to enter a dialogue with life, a reciprocal relationship in which you acknowledge the guidance being offered and respond with intention. It is not enough to recognize these signals intellectually. You must embody the awareness they bring, allowing it to reshape your choices, your actions, and your trajectory. Each sign carries within it a potential for insight, a seed of understanding, a door opening to possibilities that were previously invisible. Ignoring them may feel easier in the short term, but engaging with them fully is how you align with the deeper currents of existence, how you step into the momentum of your own evolution. There is no time like now. The present moment is the only arena in which change can occur, the only space in which your awareness and intention can translate into action. Too often we defer our responses, waiting for conditions to be perfect, for clarity to arrive fully, or for fear to dissipate completely, as though the universe will pause until we feel ready. But life does not wait. Every moment you hesitate is a moment in which potential slips through your fingers, and every opportunity that passes without engagement leaves its mark on the trajectory of your existence. The signs you are seeing are not idle suggestions, they are invitations to act immediately, to step into the flow of life that is already moving, to honor the momentum that is available to you in this very instant. Procrastination is the enemy of transformation, and delay is the ally of stagnation. Recognizing the urgency embedded in these signals means acknowledging that waiting for certainty is a luxury you cannot afford. The present is charged with possibility, rich with the capacity to shift your path, and dense with lessons that cannot be postponed. Acting now does not require complete knowledge or perfect conditions. It requires courage, willingness, and trust in your capacity to navigate what comes next. Every small step taken in alignment with the guidance you are receiving compounds over time, creating ripples that extend far beyond what you can immediately perceive, altering circumstances, opening doors,
and creating connections that would remain invisible if you lingered in indecision.
To seize the present moment is to honor both the signs you have been given and the life that is calling you forward, urging you to move beyond hesitation and into intentional action. The universe speaks in signs, but it requires action to answer. Awareness alone, no matter how deep, is not enough. The messages you receive demand movement, intention, and courage to bring them into reality. These signs are like sparks in the darkness. They illuminate the path ahead, but only your steps can carry you forward. Too often we wait for clarity or perfect timing, imagining that understanding alone will somehow resolve our path, yet insight without action remains inert, like a seed that never finds soil. Responding to these messages requires embracing uncertainty, stepping into situations where outcomes are not guaranteed, and trusting that the guidance you have received is enough to take the first step. It is about controlling every variable, nor about predicting every consequence. It is about committing to act with awareness and letting the unfolding of life shape the results. Action transforms passive observation into lived experience, turning intuition into wisdom and potential into reality. Every decision, every deliberate movement in alignment with the signs you perceive is a conversation with the universe, a demonstration of your willingness to engage with life rather than merely witness it. The more you act, the more responsive the world becomes, creating feedback loops of opportunity, insight, and growth. In this dynamic exchange, hesitation diminishes, confidence strengthens, and your trajectory begins to shift in profound ways. The signs you see are not just warnings, they are invitations to co-create your life, to participate actively in the unfolding of your destiny, and to step into the momentum of change that is waiting for your courage to meet it. The signs are here,